Malachi chapter 1 is a profound message from God delivered through the prophet Malachi to the people of Israel. This chapter addresses the people's doubts about God's love, their disrespectful worship practices, and the corruption among the priests. It serves as a call to genuine worship and a reminder of God's unwavering love and expectations for His people. Let's delve into a verse-by-verse commentary, exploring the historical and theological aspects and how these verses apply to us today. Malachi, whose name means "my messenger," delivers God's final prophetic message to Israel before a 400-year period of silence. This chapter opens with a declaration of God's love for Israel and moves on to rebuke the priests and people for their insincere and disrespectful worship. The chapter highlights the importance of honoring God with genuine and wholehearted worship. Malachi 1 verse 1. A revelation, Yahweh's word to Israel by Malachi. Malachi is identified as the messenger delivering God's word to Israel. This verse sets the tone for the entire book, emphasizing the seriousness of the message. We should always approach God's word with reverence, understanding its significance and weight in our lives. Malachi 1 verses 2 to 3. I have loved you, says Yahweh. Yet you say, how have you loved us? Wasn't Esau Jacob's brother? Says Yahweh, yet I loved Jacob, but Esau I hated, and made his mountains a desolation, and gave his heritage to the jackals of the wilderness. God reminds Israel of His love by contrasting their fate with that of Edom, who were the descendants of Esau and faced destruction. God's love is sovereign and unmerited, highlighting His grace towards Israel. We must recognize and appreciate God's love and grace in our lives, even when circumstances seem challenging. Malachi 1 verses 4 to 5. Whereas Edom says, we are beaten down, but we will return and build the waste places, Yahweh of armies says, they shall build, but I will throw down, and men will call them the wicked land, even the people against whom Yahweh shows wrath forever. Your eyes will see, and you will say, Yahweh is great, even beyond the border of Israel. Edom was defeated but attempts to rebuild. Their plans are futile because of God's judgment against them. God's sovereignty and justice are evident as He upholds His judgment against wickedness. Trust in God's justice and sovereignty, knowing that He will ultimately prevail over evil. Malachi 1 verse 6. A son honors his father, and a servant his master. If I am a father, then where is my honor? And if I am a master, where is the respect due me? Says Yahweh of armies to you priests who despise my name. You say, how have we despised your name? The priests of Israel, despite their role as spiritual leaders to the people of Israel, failed to honor Yahweh. The relationship between God and His people is likened to that of a father and son, master and servant, emphasizing the need for respect and reverence. Spiritual leaders and believers alike must honor God in their actions and attitudes, recognizing His authority and holiness. Malachi 1 verses 7 to 8. You offer polluted bread on my altar. You say, how have we polluted you? In that you say, Yahweh's table is contemptible. When you offer the blind for sacrifice, isn't that evil? And when you offer the lame and sick, isn't that evil? Present it now to your governor. Will he be pleased with you? Or will he accept your person? Says Yahweh of armies. The priests had been offering defective sacrifices to God. In the Mosaic law in Leviticus 22 verses 17 to 33, the sacrifices were to be pure and without blemish. God demands pure and wholehearted worship, not half-hearted or defective offerings. We should give God our best in worship and service, not leftovers or what we don't value. Malachi 1 verse 9 to 10. Now, please entreat the favor of God, that He may be gracious to us. With this, will He accept any of you? Says Yahweh of armies. Oh, that there were one among you who would shut the doors, that you might not kindle fire on my altar in vain. I have no pleasure in you, says Yahweh of armies, neither will I accept an offering at your hand. God expresses his displeasure with the insincere worship and suggests that it would be better to close the temple doors than to offer such sacrifices. God values sincere worship over ritualistic practices. Our worship should be genuine and heartfelt, seeking to please God rather than merely fulfilling obligations. Malachi 1 verse 11. For from the rising of the sun even to its going down, my name is great among the nations, and in every place incense will be offered to my name, and a pure offering, for my name is great among the nations, says Yahweh of armies. We see a prophecy that God's name will be honored among the Gentiles, indicating the future inclusion of all nations in worship. God has a plan for universal worship and the spread of his glory. As part of that plan, we are called to spread the gospel and honor God's name globally, recognizing his desire for all people to worship him. This is not ecumenicalism. This is the worship of Yahweh supplanting all other worship and religions. Malachi 1 verses 12 to 13. But you profane it when you say, Yahweh's table is polluted, and its fruit, even its food, is contemptible. You say also, Behold, what a weariness it is. And you have sniffed at it, says Yahweh of armies, and you have brought that which was taken by violence, the lame, and the sick, thus you bring the offering. Should I accept this at your hand? Says Yahweh. The priest's attitude towards worship is one of contempt and weariness, leading to unacceptable offerings. God condemns insincere and disrespectful worship. May we examine our attitudes towards worship and ensure we approach God with reverence and sincerity. Malachi 1 verse 14. But the deceiver is cursed who has in his flock a male, and vows and sacrifices to the Lord a defective thing, for I am a great king, says Yahweh of armies, and my name is awesome among the nations. God curses those who deceitfully offer inferior sacrifices while having better offerings available. We should be honest and wholehearted in our worship and service, recognizing God's greatness and deserving of our best. Malachi chapter 1 is a powerful reminder of God's love and the importance of sincere worship. It challenges us to honor God with our best and to approach him with reverence and sincerity. As we reflect on these verses, let's commit to giving God the honor he deserves in every aspect of our lives. If you found this commentary helpful, please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. We would love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment below about how these verses have impacted you or any questions you might have. Thank you for watching. God bless.